Good afternoon. Today is Monday, March the 18th, 2019, and it is 2:35 p.m. New York time. I'm not in New York, I'm in Arizona, but for the purpose of what the market is doing, right now it's 2:36 in New York. Quick disclaimer, the following is not to be construed or used for investing purposes. The following analysis is nothing more than my personal opinion, and my opinion is just mine, and it is based in over 7 years of charting experience. So here we go. I'm not giving advice for investment to anybody. This is just my own personal opinion. What are we looking at? Aurora Cannabis, or ACB. We have in here a 15-minute chart, right here, an hourly chart, a daily chart, and a weekly chart. What is the trend on the largest time frame available on this screen? The weekly. What has the stock been doing for the last few weeks? Remember, this is a weekly chart, so each line represents the activity of the price for a week, every one of these lines. So for the last few weeks, the price has been trending to the upside. And we have in here on this trend a few regressions along the way. Take a look at how the price bottomed right here on December the 24th. That was the lowest point, and that was met with an upside divergence technically. What you're going to see over here is a comparison of indicator bottoms with price bottoms. Here's the price bottoming over here, and here's the indicator bottoming over here. Actually, if I'm going to be absolutely precise, the bottoming of the price is actually a little higher. But I'm going to use the bottom of the price in here as the lowest point on this particular moment in time. The next one would be right here and right here. So I'm comparing indicator bottoms with price bottoms. Now let's trace a line connecting the two bottoms on the indicator here. There's the connection, and from that point we're going to do the same on the stock, on the price. So for all intents and purposes, what you need to do mentally is project this upside divergence onto the price. I can do this automatically without doing any drawings, but I'm doing the drawings over here to help you visualize. And so when the price bottomed right at this level right here, it was being met with a rather strong upside divergence on the daily. And so this is a bottoming pattern being met with an upside pattern technically, which caused the weekly to end its downtrend and then change direction, and this is the beginning of the uptrend. Got rid of all the drawings. Now we're going to trace our channels to the upside. As the weekly turn, we establish the uptrend and the continuation on the long term, and so this is what it looks like. So take a look at how we establish the uptrend, and then we have these channels on top and bottom of the price, and every time the price visits the top of the channel, it regresses, and then it visits the bottom of the channel, and it continues like this. Top of the channel, the price regresses like so, then we visit the bottom of the channel like so. Now this is an approximation, it's not a mathematical perfect formula, but it gives you a good understanding of when the price might be turning around and how do you come up with the answer, because you analyze the lower time frames and you look for patterns of support that can change the price and make it, in this case, continue the upside. Then what does the price do? It touches the top of the channel here. Then there's a regression. So the price drops. It visits the bottom of the channel, and then we have a series of continuations, as I have analyzed on a previous video. And then the price moves up, and where are we at right now? We are visiting the top of the channel. Is a regression in the cards. It's very possible that we have a regression, and then after the regression subsides, we have more upside. How do I come up with this assumption? Because I analyze the indicator, the blue line over here, and its strength. What is this blue line here on the daily doing? Is it parabolic to the upside? The answer is yes. How about on the weekly? Parabolic to the upside. Now, we have a downside pressure pattern here on the hourly. What I did in here is I traced a circle to connect this top and this top technically. Now let's do the same with the price. Notice how the circle on the price is much bigger, and what that implies is that the price movement, the continuation of the price hitting the top of the channel over here, is much bigger than the indicator breadth of movement over here, which is implying down pressure. The indicator is shorter, and if we meet that with a negative pattern underneath, which we do have on the 15-minute and 30-minute charts respectively, that causes the price to regress. Take a look at how, if we compare indicator tops here on the 15, take a look at this. I connect this top with this top in here, and we have a line that goes down like this. If we project that onto the price, we would have a line that goes like that. That is implying downside pressure. In other words, the price tends to go down. That on top of the fact that we are on top of the channel. So that also implies a regression of the price, which is exactly what we had. Now, is that going to sustain? Probably not much. Here's another telltale sign. Take a look at how the MACD over here is pulling extremely long against what the price is doing. When you see this type of situation happen, where the indicator is much longer than the price drop in this case, that means that we're fighting trend. What's the trend? Up. So more than likely, we're going to have a continuation to the upside. Let me move on to a 30, hourly, 2-hour, and 4-hour charts. What's the 4-hour doing? It's still parabolic to the upside. Sorry for that interruption. And so what we have in here is a regression since the price visited the top of the channel. Now take a look at on the 30, we also have a pretty prominent downside pressure pattern, where technically we are over here, so it's calling the price down. But the 30 is also pulling long. Now the 60 registered the pullback, and so the 2-hour, but it really looks like the price wants to continue the upside. Let's go to the daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. The monthly chart is pointing up as the price looks like it's trending to the upside. And it's not that it looks like, it is trending to the upside with a few regressions along the way. The big question over here is, how big is this regression going to be? It looks right now, because of the way the 15-minute chart looks, let me go to the 15-minute, too long, it looks like the price will go back up again. But after that upside, the price might take a break for longer, and then we might have a more sustained regression like the one we had here on the hourly at the beginning of the month. And take a look at how the 5-minute over here already turned off, and the price is continuing its trek to the upside. So my most educated guess in here would be more upside. In order to stop this daily and flattening like we had in this instance, where we had this regression, we are going to need a more extreme pattern underneath to form on the hourly or 30 and 50-minute charts. So for the long term right now, this thing looks like more upside after a small pullback, which is what we're seeing here. Again, this is just my opinion, and it is in no way, shape, or form a call to action to buy anything or to get into an investment. I'm just analyzing this thing on an open format for you, pouring my mind on these charts for you. End of story. Catch you on the next video.